Saturday night, he's doing his thing. Reggae dancehall styling, it's drum and bass in your face. It's Fabio kicking off tonight's show. The sound of Chaser Status and Take Me Away. It's drum and bass, baby. Next 2 hours, it's gonna be big. What a tune. A tune that I want to see doing real well this summer, because it deserves it. The sound of Chasing Status from their forthcoming album on RAM. Take Me Higher, big tune out there. Great to see this getting massive crowd reaction. It's well deserved. It's Fabio's drum and bass. It's Saturday night, Sunday morning. We're popping off. D&B for the next 2 hours. Many thanks to Chris Goldfinger, the dancehall specialist. Been doing his thing for years and years and many years to come. So tonight we have London Elektricity. We've got them doing their thing. We've got the head honcho, Tony Coleman, is in here to play something old and something new. And he's also got a mix for us. Yeah. So he's going to be doing his thing. We've got Mr. Jam on D&B and the BBC. Mr. Jam, of course, from One Extra. He's played his favourite selection, his favourite D&B tune of the moment. So watch out for that. We got the D&B chart, the Radio 1 and One Extra D&B charts. We've had the same number one for the last couple of weeks, Dillinja and Grimey. But he has some solid opposition facing him. He's still got Machete and he's got Sub Focus sneaking around in the background. So the Radio 1 and One Extra D&B chart coming up real soon. And we've got some top tunes. Got some big tunes. From Chasing Status into brand new from TC.
Arizona around an album all. Driver, don't even itch. Collect a little food there and come back quick. Driver, just remember the damn speed limit. Cause if you're running the fence, my friend, that is it. I've got an Nextel phone and a singular chip. Any problem, you can reach me on this. Driver. Around an album all. Driver, don't even itch. Collect a little food there and come back quick. Driver, just remember the damn speed limit. Cause if you're running the fence, my friend, that is it. I've got an Nextel phone and a singular chip. Any problem, you can reach me on this. Driver.
Sound of TC, a track called Driver. Big up to TC. Hadn't seen TC in a while. Hit him up on AIM and we had a nice chat in the week. He's working on some stuff at the moment. He's just trying to, reassess his game. He came in, he changed the game, he's got to reassess the game afterwards. That is the mark of a true professional. That's how we do at Radio 1. So as I said, great show coming up. We have got Tony Coleman from London Electricity. He's coming up real soon. Of course, he runs Hospital Records, one of the biggest labels out there. He runs a very successful night at Heaven's Hospitality, which is every 3 months, and it is incredibly packed, incredibly crazy in there. And of course he's got his own thing going on, London Electricity, the band and stuff like that. So we're going to be talking about that, this and that with Tony Coleman real soon. And as I said before, D&B on the BBC. Tonight we have the marvellous Mr. Jam from One Extra. And he's picked out his favourite drum and bass track of the moment. I've got to big up all the nightclubs that are repping D&B at the moment. Fabric and The End. The other week, I think Friction had his night on, and at The End, and Fabric was on. Both nights were incredibly busy. And that's testament to drum and bass. How well everything's going at the moment. Right, straight after this, we have the One Extra and Radio 1 D&B chart. Time to get into some soulful grooves. This is how we do it. It's Radio 1, it's Fabio.
There's no other place for drum and bass. There's no other place for drum and bass. Radio 1.
This is Radio 1.
The wonderful former guest, Utah Jazz, the Scott Mills lookalike. No, for real, it's just uncanny, unbelievable. Definitely separated at birth. And a track entitled Survival of the Fittest. And check out his album, trust me, man. It is a lovely album to listen to. Listened to it on the road the other night coming back from a gig, and it sounded amazing. So big ups to you, sir. Utah Jazz. Want to see the album in the charts? And speaking of which, we have, as I fluff my paper around, we have the official 1Xtra and Radio 1 drum and bass chart rundown. Remember, Tony Coleman's coming up straight up after this. So this week we have 2 new entries. 4 going down, 3 going up. Sounds like a film I watched last night. Time to press those buttons, darling. 0 T, Walk Away, C.I.A, down 5. Number 9, Danny Byrd, Supersized on Hospital Records, down 2. TC, Where's My Money? Clipz remix from D-Style, down 6. Number 7, Calibre from the Overflow album on Signature, up 1. Zen, The Hovercraft on Grid UK, down 3. 5. New entry, Blame, Stay Forever on Charge Recordings. Former number 1, Dillinja, Grimey on Valve Records. Number 3, Baron, Turn Up the Sun on Breakbeat. Kaos, the highest new entry this week. Former number 1, DJ Hazard and Machete on Playaz. It's moving back up to 2 from 4. 1. And number 1, another former guest of mine. Another guy who's got a wicked album coming out real soon. A real scientist. Subfocus. Timewarp getting a real lot of play on Radio 1. Big up to Zane Lowe, Annie Mac, everyone who's been repping this tune. On Ram Records, up 3. Good to see it at number 1, the Timewarp Subfocus. It's Radio 1, it's Fabio. That is number 1 this week. As I said, a former guest of mine, Sub Focus, and watch out for his album. It's a real mixture of kind of like 70s, late 70s, early 80s electro, kind of like brought up to date. It's a fascinating album. It's going to be something different to blow your mind. And speaking about albums, this year there's been a plethora of good albums and good albums to be released, and we've already had the Zero T album, which was great, Calibre's album, which was wonderful. We've got some great albums coming up. Ronnie Size has done his album, and we've got some great albums coming up. Chasing Status, Shy Effects, and we've got to speak to another big name in the game who's got an album coming out, Tony Coleman from Hospital. What is up, Tony?
Oh, hello.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
I'm not too bad. How you doing, man? Because I know it's been a little while since you've been here.
Yeah, doing great. It's been a journey the last year and a half or so. I was kind of out of action last year because my neck went. And
which is bizarre. I mean,
it was horrible.
Now tell us, explain more about this. Your neck went. The disc in your neck went.
Yeah,
right?
2 discs went in my neck, and the surgeon reckoned it might have been due to headbanging.
Well, it's rock and roll, baby.
Or carrying vinyl.
Right. Yeah.
Over the years.
Okay.
But anyway, I thought I was going to be paralysed, but I was for a little while. But he gave me an operation. He kind of cut my neck open.
Wow.
And pulled the discs out and put some titanium plates in, and thankfully it's all good.
So you were kind of like crippled almost. You was all you couldn't move.
Yeah, vinylitis, but I'm still playing vinyl, Fabio.
Which is incredible.
Man up.
It's a real labour of love.
It is.
Now, we want to talk about this as well, because you've got this thing, Stop the War on Vinyl.
Yeah.
And it's, it's caused controversy to a degree.
Good.
Which is probably the aim behind it anyway, to get people up and noticing. But what are you saying with the Stop the War on Vinyl?
I'm just saying it comes from the heart, because I love vinyl, and we at Hospital love vinyl, and our philosophy, I mean, it's a selfish thing on my part maybe because it's my personal philosophy, but I think that if you're a DJ and people are paying to come and see you, what they really, really want is to see you play vinyl and dubs.
Okay.
And I think I just think it's a shame if people give up on it. It's because it's such a lovely format. I love it. No, for real.
I've been playing vinyl since, my first tune that I ever bought was Sound Your Funky Horn by Casey and the Sunshine Band on TK Records, man, back in the mid-70s.
Radio 1.
And my first record was Two Little Boys.
Roll fans, I remember Two Little Boys.
2 little boys had 2 little toys. Each had a wooden horse.
Drum and bass in your face.
What he was quite singing about, I don't quite know, but we won't go into that.
I think Hard Contrast should remix it, actually.
No, for real. It's up for a drum and bass remix.
Definitely.
So, you know what? The weird thing is, I've got to digress, because once, right, I went to a festival, I think it was at Reading, and Rolf Harris was in the next tent to me. And I'm not joking, he smashed it. No, for real, Tony, I'm not even joking. There was a tent and it was absolutely rammed, and my tent was half full, and I was going to get paid, and I walked past this tent, and I said, who's in that tent? And they went, it's Rolf Harris. And I went, listen, you're having a laugh. They said, honestly, it's Rolf Harris. The students absolutely love it.
Did he play his saw?
I think the didgeridoo, the whole thing.
Wicked.
He smashed it, trust me. It was absolutely rammed in there, man.
Rolf's one of the originals,
Come on now, standardly. But listen, we're going to talk more about the war on vinyl, because it's a really important thing, and I think whether people like it or not, you're very passionate about this, and I think we should give you kind of like a platform to speak about the war on vinyl thing, and we can talk about that a little bit more, because we're going to play some vinyl now, and we're going to go back in the day. And your first track is, tell us about this track, man.
This is a very, very old thing. It's kind of garage track,
right?
By PD Syndicate.
Remix. And who were the PD Syndicate?
I actually don't know, Fabio.
Okay.
Who were they?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I know Rodney P's on there.
Rodney P's on this,
Yeah.
right, of course.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the original producer was. Might even have been MJ Cole.
Okay.
This is the Shy FX remix.
Wicked,
This is one of those tunes I always have in my bag, play at the end, if the party goes over the allotted time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of them.
Wicked stuff. We've got Tony Coleman from Hospital Records. And he's come in with something old and something new. Starting off with something old, the PD Syndicate featuring Rodney P. Rugger Time.
Radio 1.
Man, them say they hate me bad, but this girl says she rate me bad for real. Big and heavy, done bad already. Give me the split, give me the baby, want the massive rock steady, yeah. Rhythm killer in the place and a bus because we're dangerous and can't conquer us. This are the PD Syndicate, one and rough, you done know. With the girl with the bumping stuff, you heard? Dirty gully, back that money, but when we're up in the bashment, we're back that honey for real. Done know, I want you listen to Flex, Bad Man remix, T-Power, Shy FX for real.
Anytime I come, dangerous. Anytime I come, cantankerous. And I said on the cup, way in your thermos. And I'm on the melody, we well conscious. Anytime I come, dangerous. Anytime I come, cantankerous. Yeah.
Yo, yeah. Why you watch that now? Listen, yo, they never knew about us English kids, and now we live and now we program big and make moves. Looking gal in our Prada shoes, you hear me star? Rhythm killer, top shutting over 16 bars, you hear me? Trust me, rude boy, we're bad no Ross. PD with this new lick, the platinum class, and yo, we're hard to hold, we're dark and cold and don't fold. Know the rules, blood, we're big and we're bold. So listen, do the work, make the baseline hurt. Girls flirt in their junglist movement t-shirts, yeah. Hear the flex, come hear the vibe. This are the bad man style for the crew inside, for real.
Anytime I come, dangerous. Anytime I come, cantankerous. And I said on the cup, way in your thermos. And I'm on the melody, we well conscious. Anytime I come, dangerous. Anytime I come, cantankerous. Yeah. But while you walk around the place, chewing up them face, them no safe. Oh Lord. Them just a walk around the place, with the gun pon them waist, them no safe. Oh Lord. You see you will side and you will broke your side. And you score the melody, but wicked and wild. And in the time I come, dangerous. And in the time I come,
Track entitled Ruff Like Me.
and I'm on the melody.
PD Syndicate featuring the mighty Rodney P.
Yeah, big up Rodney.
Good friend of us all, Rodney P, isn't he?
Yeah, wicked MC.
Wicked MC. And he comes to drum and bass a lot. He comes and supports, man. And to be honest with you, Rodney hasn't really got the love he's deserved, I reckon, man.
It's true, isn't it? You don't see his name that much anymore, but
not as much. And I know he's out there working, and I know he's out there doing his thing.
He's always busy.
But he's got a wonderful voice, man. I know Kano, Wiley, and Dizzy have done really well. I think it's time for Rodney to get some love, man.
Definitely,
get that break.
Definitely.
Wicked tune. Where did you dig that one up from, man?
I always have it.
Oh, you always have it
in my
with you,
record
man.
bag. It's at the back, and it's one of those ones I just draw for if the party is going off.
Yeah, right.
You know those gigs where you're allowed to play for as long as you like.
I love that.
Yeah.
Isn't that just the best? When you go...
Yeah.
The thing is about DJ, you go past a certain zone.
Yeah.
And you've got the crowd, and you can kind of do what you want, man.
Yeah.
And that, when you're in the zone like that, that is what is...
It's what it's all about, isn't it?
That's
it really
what it's
is.
all about, man. And,
Yeah.
and the crowd are with you, whatever you do.
I love it.
And it doesn't happen a lot. It happens, you have kind of 3 degrees. You have a bad night, you have a good night, and you have a wicked night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that when you can do that and you've got 2 hours and you can play a tune like that at the end, man.
It's when it turns into a jam, basically.
Oh, that's right, man. That's what it's all about, man.
Love it.
But, back to the War and Vinyl. We're going to speak about this quickly because we've got other things to talk about, like the album and stuff like that. As I said, you've got a real passion about it. But what do you think about DJs, though, that... can't afford to buy the dub plates and listen. I know
fair play. If you can't afford it, you've got a DJ. You've got to play whatever media you can,
right?
Because the most important thing is that the music is played.
For real,
full stop.
And as a big DJ myself, who does not play vinyl no more, and the reasons being is because. I play dub plates a lot, and I just found the cost a little bit too much. But saying that, at the same time, I do understand being a label owner. you know, the vinyl world, that's what we push out there, and that's what we want people to buy, the vinyl.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's a paradox to me. I'm split on both sides. I can understand
do
both
you like,
sides.
tell me honestly, right, be honest, dig into your heart on this one. Do you enjoy playing vinyl more or CDs more?
No, you know what, Tony, I can honestly tell you, I really haven't got a problem with playing CDs.
No, I know.
And I actually enjoy it as much as I do vinyl. You know, I know lots of DJs that have said to me, you know, guys like Marky and people like that have said, listen, I just don't like the fact you put 2 discs into something. I just can't work with that. And I know loads of DJs that cannot play CDs. They just like, it don't feel right to me. And I'm feeling that, but at the same time, me personally, I've never had a problem with it. And that is kind of because as long as I can get the music across and it sounds the same, for me, that's good enough. And I can work with it. But, you know, I understand DJs that can't, and, you know, so.
Yeah, I just like, I like the fact that when I get my dub plate, it's been mastered by Stuart or
For real.
You know, or Bo,
For real.
and I know that everything's levelled right, but I love my vinyl, man. I just love it. I love my record.
You're really passionate about it.
I love playing my
Tony.
records.
And
you know what I mean?
And respect to that. Right, now, we're going to move on and talk about your new album, because it's been a little while since the last album.
Yeah. 3 years, actually.
3 years.
Yeah.
And on the last album, you took some risks as well. Do you think that it paid off?
Yeah, it did. I think risks always pay off if they're good risks. Back myself into a corner there, because sometimes it can be an absolute disaster. But thankfully, there weren't any disastrous ones. I mean, when I'm making music, I can't make music that sounds safe or sounds like
For real.
music that other people are making,
Of course.
or hopefully even that I've made before. You know, I like it to sound new, because I'm putting my time into it, and it ain't worth it if it's, you know, I'm not the kind of producer that will just make a sonically brilliant dance floor tune that works the system and ticks all the right boxes technically. That's not me. You know, I like to actually I like to dig right into the chords, right into the textures, into the emotions of tunes. That's what I love doing.
But do you find it a real challenge? I mean, you know, making a third album in the space of, what is it, 8 years, 7-8 years? You know, that's a big ask, man. And
yeah, it's the 4th studio album actually.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah. 4th album. I mean, I'm not prolific. I mean, like we say, it's 3 years since the last one. But
still, you know, it's you run a club night, a massive club night. You've got a brand, the Hospital brand, and it's out there, and it's a really successful brand as well. You know, so to find time to do 4 albums in that space of time, and then look after all these guys. I know what it's like, man. It's really hard looking after artists.
I couldn't do it without the whole team. Whole team at Hospital. I mean, like, you know, we've got 6 people working there, and everyone's dedicated to the cause. So, you know, without Chris and Tom and Riley and Zach and Ash and all the crew, I couldn't do it.
It would not be possible.
No, it'd be
not any
totally
kind of level, man.
impossible. And also the other artists on the label as well. Do you know what I mean?
No, for real. You know, guys like Logistics and, you know, all the guys, you know,
part of the same network, you know.
And plus you've got the Med School thing popping as well, which is a very interesting label.
Wicked.
Quickly before we play your next track, tell us about Med School, man.
Well, Med School was my idea kind of like last year, because Hospital's reached a certain stage where it's oriented around albums and big projects, and I suddenly found like we were getting demos that were amazing, but you couldn't bring them out, and they were too dark or too underground sounding for Hospital or whatever, and also like little projects that really needed developing, and I wanted a label that we could really develop new, different, proper underground talent, you know, and something that sounds very different from Hospital as well. So that's kind of the ethos behind Med School.
I think that's really worked. And you picked up young guys who are making, like Martzman. I love his stuff, man.
Yeah.
Very glitchy, and it's not going to make anyone a million, but it's so good to be able to bring out stuff like that, and you know,
exactly.
And these guys to have something to aim for, because it's really difficult for a lot of these underground guys. You know, they sell smaller units maybe, but you know, we can't afford to let these guys go.
No. It's essential to develop talent like
that.
For
real,
do you know
man.
What I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, I know you're there as well. I mean, like you've been working with Sinistar, haven't you?
Yeah, no. Oh,
who's
wow.
Oh, I love him, mate. Absolutely love him.
And you know what? I love his tracks, and I sit there and I think, you know what? This is a tough sell, but you know, at the same time, what do? I can't let this track go.
That Detroit Diesel.
Oh, that is sick.
Love it.
Listen, we're going to play the first track from the album, and it's called
All Hell Is Breaking Loose.
Right, and what's the vibe on this, man?
I think the title kind of says it, really. This is quite a fun tune, and it's got a little guitar solo at the end that I did as well, so it's got everything in it. It's a proper kitchen sink tune.
All right, we'll listen to it and then we'll discuss. We have Tony Coleman from Hospital Records. He's on and we're talking about everything, man. We're just talking and playing some tunes from the album, the forthcoming album, All Hell Is Breaking Loose. It's Fabio, it's Radio 1. This is how we jam on Saturday night.
There's no other place for drum and bass.
The sound of London Elektricity from the forthcoming album, a track called All Hell Is Breaking Loose. And I see exactly what you mean about that, man. That's really funky.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. That's Leanne Carroll as well, doing all the kind of all the little kind of diva-y harmonies in there.
Oh, so Leanne's still about doing her thing, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And what a wonderful voice she's got.
Yeah. She's since we stopped doing the live band, she's cleaned up on every jazz award going. Do you know what I mean?
Wicked, man.
She even got an award at the House of Commons the other day.
Oh, no way, man.
Yeah.
So where was yours?
I don't know. I've had 2 podcast awards in the last 2 years for the podcast.
Okay. Well, actually, tell us about your podcast, because I know you was very quick on the uptake with our podcast, and I know your podcast is really professionally run. Tell us the idea, like the initial idea behind it. What made you start up a podcast?
Well, Zing got there first, and I was jealous, so I thought I've got to do one because Ben's doing one.
Yeah.
And that literally that was it. I thought I'd have a go at that because I thought that looks like pirate radio, and I used to love doing pirate radio.
For real.
And it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's simply pirate radio, but you can download it.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, we do it in our little studio at the hospital office. And you kind of do it whenever you want. You upload it when you want. We do it roughly every 2 weeks, sometimes a bit more often. And I've really got into it, but it's gone ballistic, to be honest. It's nice. I don't think about it when I'm making it, because I always think I'm just sort of talking to a couple of people, you know. And it's lovely. We've got 40,000 subscribers every episode, and
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's wicked. You know, loads of feedback from all around the world. And
are you really relaxed doing a radio show?
Yeah. I just talk rubbish.
And it's great, isn't it?
I talk about food. I talk
the whole thing. You can just talk about what you want,
and you can talk politics as much as you like, because it's not like sort of like radio, you know.
Yeah. So there's no censorship at all.
I don't think I've ever slandered anyone sort of deliberately, you know.
You might have
done, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, tough, huh?
Yeah.
What's the name of the new album?
The new album's called Syncopated City.
And how long was you in the studio working on the album, man?
Well, quite a long time, because I was working on it when my back went, so I could only work for about 20 minutes at a time, and I had to have a lie down because of all the kind of painkillers I was on. So I don't remember much of that part, but I actually did all the beats during that period, and then I worked on it properly after my operation for about 5 months. I finished it in May. So quite a lot of work went into this one, actually, probably more than any other album I've ever made.
So, you know, drum and bass is a kind of ever-changing music form. How do you keep up with drum and bass because you have to, you've got no choice, or because you've got the team and the team kind of keep you up with what's going on, or that you're so ensconced in it that you just keep up?
Well, it's my job day and night, isn't it?
For real.
But I'm lucky enough to have a job that is also my hobby, you know. So
that's the best.
And I mean, like, you know, we've got a 24-hour inbox for demos. Yours truly is the person who listens to them all,
okay,
you know, without fail. So I'm up with everything that's going on, I think. I mean, there's still, obviously, like everybody, there's tunes that I hear out when I think, that's brilliant, what's that? And either I never got it, or I did get it and didn't listen to it. And so there's a lot of stuff that I do miss, but I'm only human, you know. There's so much drum and bass being made, I can't hear absolutely everything that's going on. But
it's
I mean,
just so much. There's so much of it, man.
It's developing so fast, and it's still, what I love about drum and bass after all this time is it's still the most eclectic single form of music. Do you know what I mean? There's still, you're allowed to put any influences in drum and bass, and it's accepted if you do it in the right way.
For real. And I think drum and bass has got the scope to do that. I think what people don't get about drum and bass a lot, I don't think they can really see inside it. I think once you see inside drum and bass and you understand it, it just hooks you like so badly. And when you're on the outside, you can't see that at all.
Yeah.
And it's like Marmite, you know, once you kind of get that taste with Marmite, I love it. I hated Marmite the first time I tasted it.
Drum and bass is like Marmite. It's official.
Standardly, you know what I mean? But once you keep on, you just think, hang on a minute, I'm getting a little taste for this thing here. And drum and bass is like that. And once you've got that taste, man, you just can't get it out of you at all, can it, man?
Yeah, like olives, isn't it? It's like olives or coffee.
Olives, coffee or Marmite. Yeah. One of the three.
Definitely.
I think we better play the next tune.
Okay.
Right? We're going to play a tune from the album $1 Billion Gravy.
Yeah, this is fast soul music, and I think from my old stuff, it's probably it's a tune I'm most proud of.
This is just such a wonderful tune. I remember the first day I got this tune, and it was a hot summer's day in I think mid-July or something like that, and it was one of those tunes. The sun was shining through the window and all that, and you just, you know what I mean?
You got a good memory. It actually was in July that I sent it to you.
I'm good.
Yeah. You got
I'm
it.
telling you, man. I'm telling you, I was feeling that moment.
July 2002. I remember it well.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have moments, man. And this tune, I could not stop playing it. And it still sounds so beautiful and so resonant, man.
Wicked.
You know what I'm saying?
Wicked. Thank you.
From the album $1 Billion Gravy, the wonderful fast soul music. We've got the mighty Tony Coleman. He's going to be in the mix for us real soon. We've got DMB on the BBC with Mr. Jam from One Extra. He's coming with absolute killer. And we've got more killer cuts throughout the night. It's Saturday night, Sunday morning. Hope you're feeling good. It's Fabio. This is how we do.
Radio 1.
Radio 1.
Radio 1.
Yes. I am now sitting down on the other side of the room. Tony Coleman is ready to go in the mix. So for the next 20-25 minutes, we have got the head honcho from Hospital Records, Tony Coleman. Make some noise!
Radio 1.
Filthy, dirty, grime, heavy, messy, gun, deep and dark, drum and bass.
This is Radio 1.
It's Saturday night, it's Radio 1. It's drum and bass time. Radio
1.
Smoke. Higher. Choke. Grass. Green. Catch.
Wicked mix from Tony Coleman. That was a big mix. If you need to know all the details of the tracks he played, go to bbc.co.uk/Radio1 and head to my page and you can find all the track listing details. Wicked stuff, Tony. You seemed so enthusiastic when you was doing that mix, man.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. You know, I'm so stoked about the music. Like you said earlier, you know, it's like if you're not feeling it, you know, then
if you're not feeling it now, you'll never feel it, man.
And I absolutely live the music. It's wicked. I love it so much.
And there's a lot. I noticed the change in your sound. You seem to have got a bit more electronic, a little bit kind of more glitchy.
Yeah. I threw in a couple of med school bits there from Randomer and Marksman. But the Marksman one, the title is Sir Gordon Jumpmeister III. Now, what a title!
And he's German as well, isn't he?
He's German as well, yeah.
See, he can think of names like that, man.
Yeah, like Apathetic Robot Squad. I mean, like,
and things like that.
He should do a masterclass in titling tunes.
He's a wicked guy, though, man. And I know he's a good DJ as well. He came over and played for you guys at Plastic People, right?
He's tight. He's really tight.
Listen, Tony, we're going to have to love and leave you soon, but tell us what you've got coming up.
The album Syncopated City is coming out in September.
Okay.
I'm just mastering that at the moment, finishing off the last few bits. And on the label, we have got Future Sound of Cambridge 3 due to hit in November.
Wicked. So that's a follow-up, of course, to...
It's either going to be an EP or possibly even an album, we'll see. Everyone's working hard at the moment.
And who's going to be on that?
Dan Newtone, Matt Logistics, and the Comics Boys.
So the same old crew, man. That's wicked.
Yeah. And then we're into next year with the debut album from Mr. Bishy.
Ah, wow, that's long awaited, man.
So we're keeping busy, and obviously there's all the med school stuff as well with Randomer and Marksman, and we're keeping ourselves busy.
And the hospitality night at Heaven still busting off, man.
Yeah.
That is a big night, man. That is huge.
Touch wood. Yeah. We're still keeping on doing that in the right way.
Who's on the next one?
Who's on the next one? It's all the Hospital Boys, of course. racks his brain.
Is it
Chris is going to kill me when I go back to the office now. I'm playing, all I know is I'm playing high
Come on,
contrast.
you're the head honcho. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm playing high contrast. He's playing,
and the lads are playing there, and you'll have a special guest.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you've got me passing through soon. I'm not on the one you're talking about.
Are you doing the one after in November?
Yeah, I'm doing that one.
Wicked.
All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's big night at Heavens, man.
Wicked.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, quickly, your MySpace. What's your MySpace?
Yeah, if you want to reach me, you can reach me on MySpace/London Electricity, or we've just set up finally LondonElectricity.com, which is like a little kind of chat site where you can give shouts out, and I'll go out on the podcast, and you can ask me questions and converse generally. So it's a kind of little piece of interaction.
Oh, wicked, man! And you guys are also on Facebook as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's a hospital Facebook.
Hospital Records, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
So Tony, listen, many thanks for coming in.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
The album Syncopated City, one more time. When is that released?
It'll be out at the end of September on Hospital.
Okay.
Everyone at Hospital sends their love, by the way, Fabio,
Lovely.
Chris and Tom and the crew.
Those guys always hook me up, and they're really good peeps you got working for you, man.
Wicked.
They're paying me for saying that as well.
Yeah, I know.
And also, I'm so glad that you are backing around and not incapacitated as you was before.
Thank you.
I remember seeing you like last year, and you looked in pain, man. And I was speaking to the guys, and they were very worried that you was gonna ever recover, man. And you're back dancing around like a nutter, and it's good to see that. And Tony Coleman, thank you for coming in, and best of luck with the album, the DJing, the label, all the club nights you do. Respect.
Thank you for having me.
Radio 1.
Brand new from Calibre. Remember, check out Calibre's album as well, Overflow. That's a marvellous album. This is a brand new track from him entitled Synthetic. We've got D&B on the BBC coming up real soon with Mr. Jam from One Extra. He's coming in to do his thing. He's got a track for us. We're going to lay off the Facebook bizzle this week because we've got so much things to do, so much music to play. Big up to Phil. I know you're on holiday, but you're probably somewhere trying to listen to this live in an internet cafe or something. And big up to Sarah, holding down the fort.
It's Fabio on Radio 1. This is how we do. Fabio.
Many thanks once again to Tony Coleman and everyone that works down at hospital. A special big hello going out to Tomahawk. Always sorting me out with a new bizzle. And some wicked stuff coming out on our mid school. Big up to Marksman, making some crazy stuff out there. Respect, respect, respect. Right, we have got one more before we have D&B on the BBC. Lots of peeps to big up. Big up to everyone who attended Swerve last week. Really, really good night. We had Tony Coleman down there a few weeks ago, actually, and blew up the spot. We've had Bailey recently, and we had Alex Perez and Zero T. And speaking of Zero T, he's our next guest. He's definitely going to be up in the place next week. Big up to you guys. Also, a big shout going out to Steve Survival. Also, Silent Witness and Break. Not forgetting Nico. Also, Ed Rush, Fierce. AI, D-Bridge, all the crew. Right, it's Fabio on Radio 1. Time is flying, so I best dip into the next tune. Brand new from the D-Style boys. I think it's Jake's on this. A track called All About. And that's what we do here. We go through the whole thing. Because it's all drum and bass, baby.
It's all about dance. 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 We straight crazy 88 dudes, and we ain't blue till we've had about 8 brews. Move around and on us, life is just baby. Replacement with tiny feet, walking around in big shoes. Say there's some your win, yeah, but we won't lose. Say they're singing blues, we're high like sniffing glue. You ain't got a crucifix it before you move to me. Just because you get no love, we don't hit. You see Mr. Jacob went to got the roll now. Scared of you, we got a roll and rip those palms now. You see Mr. Jacob went to got the roll now. Scared of you, we gotta set it lie. You see Mr. Jacob went to got the roll now. Scared of you, we gotta roll and rip those palms now. You see Mr. Jacob went to got the roll now. Scared of you, we gotta set it lie. 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 Set it 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 set it set it lie. It's all about dance.
Brand new from the D-Star crew, that's how we do. Pumping it up on a Saturday night with Fabio. Big up to the D-Star Massive. Also big up to Gerard, everyone down there in Bristol. Gotta send peace and love out to Dynamite. We rocked the house at Fabric last week. True Playaz, what a night. Absolutely smashing. Big up to Hype, everybody involved. Saw Andy C over there, ripped it as usual. Big up to Majika. Gonna be heading over to Bassman's party next week. Saturday's gonna be big, it's gonna be big. But right now, from One Extra, one of the most eclectic DJs on One Extra right now. He calls himself Mr. Jam, and he plays a bit of everything, and he loves his D&B, and he's here to tell us why.
It's Saturday night, it's Radio 1, it's drum and bass time.
Hey Fabio, how you doing? It's Mr. Jam here. You can catch me on One Extra every weekday from 7 until 10 p.m. I basically play a little bit of everything, but drum and bass is one of the key genres for me at the moment because there's a lot of good stuff out there. I'm about to get you to play a record that I think is head and shoulders above absolutely everything else out there at this moment in time. And I know it's a big statement, but when you feel the bass line, then you will understand. It's the Brooks Brothers remix of J Magic and Wickerman's Crazy World. Now, I know the original has been around for a while, but Ministry of Sound have just signed it, which could be a good look for drum and bass. And this is a fresh new remix. So boss it for me, bro boy. Cheers.
There's no other place for drum and bass. Radio 1. Radio 1.
Mr. Jam selection this week. The sound of J Magic, Crazy World, remix by the Brooks Brothers. Remember, check out Mr. Jam on When Extra. He's one of the finest DJs out there right now. Also, big up to DJ Bailey and Chrissy Chris. DMB on the BBC, next instalment next week, of course. Bit of football talk. The Euros finished, and I thought it was an excellent competition. Great to see Spain win, the perennial underachievers of football. So we're all by ourselves now, innit, with England? We're the only team that can say we've gone 42 odd years out of the big sides and not won anything. Can you believe we've not won any major competition in football as a national side since 1966? Come on, guys. Come on now. That ain't good enough. Big up to IC3. Also Brian G, the Chelsea Massive. Also big up the Hammers, Randall, Andy C. And all my Tottenham boys. Mans like Nookie and Utah Jazz. This is for you. Brand new from Vapor, Mark for Death. It's Fabio. This is how we do Saturday night, Sunday morning. Time to blaze it up. Naughty tune. Little bit of gully for all the gully heads. Big tune, Vapor, Mark for Death. Next week we have Zero T. I don't know if he's going to bring along C.I.A, that wonderful vocalist. But he's got his album out. And what a year for albums. And I think the thing is with D&B, people are getting better at making albums. Watch out for the album from Alex Perez. D Bridges had a lovely album. Go and check that out. Black Pocket Business. And I don't know if you watched Glastonbury. Because you know Jay-Z's had beef with Noel Gallagher. And he done that Wonderwall diss, man. He started off his show with Wonderwall. I actually thought that was very clever, very funny, very subtle. If you're going to get someone back, you've got to do it that way. And Jay-Z's a very, very clever man. You know, don't underestimate the guy. Me, personally, he's not my favourite rapper, but he's got skills and he worked the stage, and rappers find it hard to work a stage like that, and you know, done American Boy and tunes like that, and he done really, really well. So big up to you, Jay-Z, and big up to the whole BBC production staff, because a lot of our peeps were working on the show, and I thought it was really well put together. And some great acts on there as well. Like my producer agreed, that Groove Armada absolutely smashed it. Wicked stuff. And tell you what, if you've never been to Glastonbury, I've played at many festivals all over the world, and that is the one, man. There's something magic about that place. Right, we haven't got long left. I think I'm going to dabble into a bit of old school to round the show off tonight. Right, a track I've got to keep under my hat, because it's a track I'm not meant to play, because it's so exclusive. But you know how we do.
If you don't understand my
Gotta play it for you.
You should have never come around.
Check this out. Brand new business.
Something bringing me down.
Gonna hold down the name on this one for a minute.
There's a war in the streets. The guns blaze up the town.
It's Fabio talking about the street life.
If you are real bad man, then you'll never back down. If you don't understand my ghetto, you should have never come around. It seems like every single day there's something bringing me down. Now there's a war in the streets, the guns blaze up the town. If you are real bad man, then you'll never back down. And I'm so can't play them tune for real. If you don't understand my ghetto, you should have never come around. It seems like every single
sound of Chasing Status alongside the wonderful Jenna G. And I'm in Love, an absolute drum and bass classic. A track that will be played on the drum and bass scene forever and ever and ever. Right, we are coming up to the end of the show soon. Remember, you got the One Extra takeover straight after me. And also you have Rasquame up at 5 o'clock. And also later on in the day or early evening, late afternoon, you have the chart rundown for this week. Always driving around, always catch the chart, see what's popping. I'm feeling elevator right now. Little flow rider thing. Timberland on the car. And Nerd, good to see Nerd back. Good to see Chad Hugo back with the Neptune's crew. They weren't the same without him. Gotta know your music, baby. Right, a few more and then we're out. It's gonna leave you some old school coming up soon. But time to go deep. Proper Guddy style business. Big up to Aaron J. Also big up to Tendai, to Chris Interface. Also a big hello going out to Osh. Also Rodney, not forgetting you, sir. All the soldiers. Also big up to SP. Big shout going out to Friction. Remember, check out his Night Shogun at the end every other month. Big night. Also coming up soon, Marky and Friends, which does what it says on the tin, Marky and Friends. It's a night where you can go and play music, take people on a journey. Big night. Big shout going out to Brian G. Jordan, everyone involved with the Movement family. Important people in the game. Also, a big shout to Jumping Jack Frost, Mickey Finn, the wonderful Nikki Black Market, and the hardest working men in show business, the Rat Pack. Everson and Mark, they go back a long time. They're more in demand now than they've ever been. Big up to you guys. Time to go deep. We have to go soon. Track entitled Termites.
Radio 1. Radio 1.
That tune will make you be afraid of the dark, man. Seriously, if you're sitting alone in the dark and you shouldn't be listening, you're 15, that's like watching a horror film. That is deep. Track called Termite, man. That is a crazy track. Big up to Goldie, all the Metalheads crew. Also, Chris, good to see you about, sir. Right, we have come to the end of the show. It's hard to follow that. I've got to lighten the mood slightly. Bad tune, though. Bad tune. Right, we're going to go back to a proto-jungle thing. A track That was one of the first ever, if not the first, jungle tracks. And I know it's been remixed, in the process of being remixed by Vapor. But before I play the last tune, I've got to say big ups to Sarah and everybody involved with putting the show together tonight. Also, my other glamorous assistant, whose name escapes me at the moment, but I know he's working real hard and he's got to work the whole weekend. So we have got the One Extra Takeover coming up. We have got at 5 o'clock Ras Kwame. Keep it Radio 1, keep it locked. Send this one out to Dave Pearce, all the old school massive. Time for a little bit of C.I.A. Wicked tune, man. Send this one out to Zante Massive. Played this out in Zante a few weeks ago and it kicked off. Big up to MC Lipton, also Dean, everybody involved with that night down there in Zante. Big things. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. We had Tony Coleman on from London Electricity. We've had D&B on the BBC. We've had a mix from Tony Coleman as well. We've had the Radio 1 and 1 Extra D&B charts. Next week we have Zero T up in the house. It's Fabio saying peace out. Gonna love and leave you with Lenny D Ice, C.I.A.
Who wants one more tune from DJ Fabio?
Radio 1.